Recorded live with little or no editing. It's Defense Up. I'm Run 7. How you doing? Today we're going to be going over NotaRobot. NotaRobot is new to our alliance, and so they always get bumped to the list. I'm sorry if you guys were waiting to be on here, but first things first, I got to take care of my alliance. Also, I like to grade extra hard on my alliance mates to make sure that they're getting things done. And I briefly went through NotaRobot's lineup, and he's got some pretty big teams. They are making some of my most infamous pet peeve kind of mistakes, though, so I might rip them apart today. Who knows? Anyway, we grade on 5 different criteria. It's who you're using, their placement, their power levels, their ISOs, and what kind of mood I'm in. Let's jump into this one. First off, we have Heroes for Hire. Now, first things, I would like you to move Heroes for Hire to the back of your roster. I find in War, when I'm specifically looking for the Heroes for Hire, it's kind of frustrating because I have to wait for a room to be taken down rather than seeing who's got the biggest, the weakest Heroes for Hire, because in our alliance, we're having to pick and choose. We don't have Adam Warlock unlocked across the board. We don't have Omega Red unlocked across the board. So we have to be pretty selective because we're not going to full clear. So hide this team in the back of your roster. Also, you don't have Shang-Chi in here. He should be taking JJ's place, of course. However, the lineup should go, I like Luke Cage, Iron Fist, Colleen Wing, Misty Knight, and then Shang-Chi. But you know what? Everybody's got a different opinion. That's kind of like the Black Order. You can put it any way you want. It's not going to matter. As long as you got Luke Cage off to the side, because that taunt really that taunt sucks when you're going into it with Weapon X, and having them off to the side means that like a third, 30% of a lot of the attacks aren't hitting anybody. So make sure, Luke Cage off to the side like you got him. As for ISOs, we want Fortifier on Luke Cage, not Healer. He dies and revives, and he's so slow he's not passing out a lot of heals. His health bar, relatively speaking, isn't as big as it used to be. Then JJ should probably be a skirmisher, but you're going to put in Shang-Chi and he's going to be a raider. As for Iron Fist, he should be a skirmisher. You can run him as a healer, but having the extra vulnerable on the field tends to equate to a lot more damage a lot faster. And of course, they're dying and reviving, and his little bit of healing doesn't do much compared to that. Then we got Colleen Wing, who is supposed to be a striker, not a skirmisher, and Misty Knight, who is supposed to be a skirmisher, not a striker. Got those backwards. So let's get those ISOs changed. Let's get Wang Chung in here. Let's fix that placement, and then slide this team to the back of your roster, either slots 8, 9, or 10. It doesn't matter, as long as they're not up front. As for your grade on this, you got a good overall power, and if nobody notices that Wang Chung isn't in here, then you might trick somebody into bringing in the Infinity Watch rather than a big Black Order punchdown. Your ISOs are all screwed up, though. I don't like this placement. I don't like the team being up front in your lineup. So I'm going to give you a C- for this. I think you're making a lot of mistakes here. Then we got team number 2 is the Mercenary, the Skilletarium team. You don't have Black Widow on here. That's fine. You're running Captain Marvel. She gives them the military bonus anyways. So it's kind of a good fit for defense. Plus, your power levels are all wonky. I think that's why you've got Fortifier on Red Guardian, because he's got a little bit lower health. And so you're trying to make up for that with the Fortifier. So that's okay. I'd rather you just put the points in him and bring him up to like 80k and then switch him over to a skirmisher. As for your other ISOs, those are all good. I think Punisher should be a striker on the offensive team, but when you're on defense and he isn't targeting, you're not controlling who he's targeting, Raider works okay. So I won't knock you for that one. But if you're going to run this team on offense, switch him over to a striker, because then you get that triple tap when you need it. Make him war ready, and I think that's really all you should do. Go ahead, keep this wonky power level going here, because your overall power level is deceiving. It's lower than what it really is, because these are your 2 damage dealers, and so you want them powered up more and people underestimating what they're gonna do. So you got some good opening damage with these 2 too. You might actually get a DV with this team. Check out your Merc and your Merc minion, and see if he's got, if you want to put the T4s in his T4 bonus does work on offense or defense, and it's like 40% health or something. It's pretty substantial. And if you've got the T-Force to spare, you might want to do that. So I'm going to give this team a B+. It's actually not bad. You're not wasting anything here. And I kind of like what you're doing. Team number 3, your Wave 1 Avengers. Now, here's where your Black Widow is. Unfortunately, though, we don't have Thor in here, so this team is losing a lot of its damage potential. Thor is really one of the biggest heavy hitters in here, and without Thor, this team isn't very scary at all. I'd like to see you change your placement. I want to see Hulk, then Captain America, then Thor or Black Widow, your choice, then the other one, and then Hawkeye to the outside. Most people think you should put, a lot of people think you should put tanks to the outside, but in this specific circumstance, you want the 2 tanks on one side, and you want people bouncing around on those tanks because they're really tough, and you're going to gain speed meter when they bounce around in there, especially with those rebounding chains that can't go past Black Widow when she is under stealth. Also, you could have Thor there and then Black Widow if you want to get a lot more people and spread the damage around. Excuse me, my voice has still not come back to me. Okay, Striker Skirmisher on the pair, that's good. Healers on the other 2 tanks, that's good. I like Tony Stark as a Striker on the Power Armor team. I used to run him as a Raider. I like having the extra kick when I go into those Red Skull teams, when I use my Power Armor for that. You know, those low-level Red Skull teams. But you're going to have Thor in here as a Raider is probably the best. You could also do him as a Striker. A lot of people like the extra damage bonus on him. I'm a big vulnerable fan, so I like Thor as a Raider. Get Tony Stark out of here, though. He's not doing anything for this team. He's got a little bit of synergy there with Captain America, but he's just not a good tune anymore. Yeah, I think this team kind of is really suffering big time without having Thor in it, so I'm gonna give you a C+ for that. Here's the Asgardians. This is an automatic F right here because you've got Hela in here. You've got a lot of investment in this team, and Hela is making it go to waste. This used to be a fantastic war defense team. Also, if you were running the 5-piece, you would want to be running Hela as a Striker so that you get the Skirmisher Striker combo. Loki lays out the taunt, and on defense it works, so she automatically goes into that vulnerable with the double tap. But anywhere else, you do want her as a Raider. So fortunate you do have her as a Raider because you're going to want to break up this team. You're going to use Loki on the New Warriors, Hela on the Supernatural. You're going to put Thor over on that Wave 1, and you're going to put these 2 on the bench unless you want to use them as a junk filler team for your defense. You could probably use them there. There is a sizable investment in those 2. I actually like Heimdall as a Raider. I like Sif as a Raider also. Secondary choice is going to be Healer. If you're gonna use them on a war defense, you might as well make them war ready since they're so close. Sorry there, cover that. However, you definitely want to make Thor war ready. These 2 are already war ready, so use them on offense and get this team out of here. It's a total waste of resources because there are so many teams that absolutely annihilate it without any problems, and you could be using them to do other things, 3 other things in fact. Team number 5, the AxMen. Astonishing XMen is a great team on offense or defense. I prefer to use them on offense since there's so many things that they can kill, like a huge punch up on the Asgardians, for instance, or just about anything else really. I use them to great effect all over the place. So I would like to see them on offense if you're serious about just putting in your defense. And then that's fine. I can't give you an A for it because because they are just so valuable for your offensive attacks. But later, hopefully, we'll get enough teams set up that we can start running them on defense. Striker, Healer, Skirmisher, Raider, no good. So you need to change all 3 in the middle to Skirmisher. So it's Bishop and 4 Skirmishers is the best way to run the team. You get maximum value. I myself actually run Jubilee as a Striker, but I recommend other people go as a Skirmisher. I think there is a slight advantage to that. It's just I built her up to ISO Blue Striker, and she's working for me, so I'm not going to change it. Also, when you run the 3-piece of Bishop, Beast, when you run Bishop and Jubilee with the Dad Bros in the Doom Mutants 1.0 and 1.1 boss node, where you use Sinister and the Dad Bros to clone the other long shot, and it gives you that turn meter. You actually want her as a Striker because it gives you more opportunities to land that blind and make it stick. Of course, the Skirmisher bonus usually makes it stick anyways, I just like having her as a striker. So anyway, but these three definitely need to be changed to skirmisher. The team, you will see a drastic change in their effectiveness when you get all those striker or skirmishers out there and Bishop starts just double tapping away like crazy. So get that changed. Otherwise, yeah, you could. Yeah, I don't know about the placement. This works. This works. You could swap them also. You could also do Bishop in between these two, so you could swap Kitty and Bishop. You could also do that. The idea between that placement is that a little bit of damage is going around to Kitty and Iceman, and it gives more turn meter for Beast, and it gets the team going a little bit faster, or heals up faster, your choice. But this is a fine placement. I think it's fine. So I'm gonna give you an A. I'm going to give you a B+ for this. It's still a very potent defense, but those ISOs are screwed up, and I would like you to put them on offense instead. Here's a Mercs team for team number 6. This is it's a pretty decent build. We got the wrong ISOs, and we got the wrong placement, but I like the tunes that you're using. I like a full mercenary team. Bullseye does great with 4 other Mercs because he gets... I believe he gets bonuses per mercenary on the team. So does Taskmaster. So having more mercenaries is more fun. However, your placement is screwed up. Riot Guard has adjacent deflex. You need to put him in the middle somewhere. I like Taskmaster, Lieutenant, Riot Guard, then Bullseye, and then Killmonger on the end. Killmonger has some healing abilities, so I put him out on the end. The other guys are kind of targets, so I like them being covered with either a healing effect or some deflex. So there's kind of 2 ways you can do this particular build. You can make Taskmaster a striker and make all these guys skirmishers, or you can make Taskmaster a skirmisher and make all these guys strikers. I don't think that we should be wasting our time with the healer on this guy. You can if you want. It's an okay secondary pick, so I can't dock you for that. Fortifier on him, you're probably putting Fortifier on him because he's the lowest power level, and you want to make sure he doesn't go under 50%. Sorry to say, he's going to go under 50%. So put some gear in him, get him up over like 75k, and then switch him to a skirmisher or striker. But Raider's the wrong pick for him. He has copy positive effects or steal positive effects on his basic, so striker's fantastic, but I like him as a skirmisher better because then it makes all these guys double tap on their attacking moves. And then of course Bullseye is attacking when these guys are doing their non-attack moves, so you get lots of vulnerables out there. Like if you want to do Bullseye and Taskmaster as skirmisher and then everybody else is striker, you can make that work too. But either way, this is just a mess. You don't want Raider, you don't want Fortifier. I prefer something other than healer, but it still works. He does have healing in his kit and everything. If you're going to run Shuri on this instead of Bullseye, then you definitely want to make him the striker build because Shuri's going to be doing all the healing and you don't need it anymore. So this is kind of a hot mess. I think I'm going to give you a C- for this team. Get that placement fixed, change those ISOs, a little bit more power into your Riot Guard. Team number 7 is an Emmarauder classic build. This team's old hat, man. Old hat. It's no good anymore. You got messed up ISOs on here. Placement's okay, but the ISOs are way messed up. So you want Skirmisher on Mystique, you want Raider on Sabretooth, you want Healer on Emma, and then these 2 are correct. So you got 2 out of 5. Let's keep the placement the way it is. I think you should probably start considering about breaking this entire team up and using them for hybrid builds. You could like keep these 3 together and then put in 2 other characters, or put Wolverine in place of Mystique. That'd be a good way to start off. But man, you got to change him to a Raider because on that Weapon X team, he's like 100% Raider. There is some talk about making Wolverine a skirmisher. I need to look into that because I'm not sure it works the way people are thinking it works. Or I'm sorry, making Wolverine a striker. I don't think it works the way people think it works. He's got speed up on his basic. I need to check out MSF.gg to see how that really functions. But MSF.gg was down yesterday for maintenance, so I couldn't do that. Like I said, this is an old team. It gets beat so many different ways, and you've got such weird ISOs going on here. You're not doing yourself any favors. For me, this is a D+. It's almost as bad as the Asgardians anymore. They used to be so good, but now we have so many hard counters to it. It's no good anymore. Team number 8, Symbiotes. Symbiotes, like the AxMen, I like on offense, not defense. However, they are very, very functional on defense. One of the reasons I keep my Symbiotes on offense is so that I can beat other people's Symbiotes on defense. That mirror match, you can really punch up because you can focus on one character where the AI is all over the place. And once you get the turn meter going, then you win. So I do like them on offense better. However, let's check out their ISOs. You've got Healer. He should be a striker for sure. You will notice a drastic improvement in the performance of this team when you switch Anti-Venom from Healer to Striker. It's amazing. The way his basic counter works into those vulnerables. If you're going to run him on defense, though, Healer kind of is an acceptable choice. However, you do have 2 Raiders and a Skirmisher with lots of vulnerables on the field and only 1 Striker to soak him up. I think you should change him to Striker no matter what. Skirmisher here is fine. Raider here is fine. That's also Skirmisher. People use him as a Skirmisher for the extra focus boost, but I like Raider. I run him as a Raider. And then I think let's see, Striker or Skirmisher is the way you want to go with Scream. I like Skirmisher. She sometimes has a little bit of a focus issue clearing those positive effects, so I run her as a level 5 Skirmisher. Kind of hard to justify changing it when you built him up so high. As for Venom, he's definitely a striker, so you got that one right too. Placement, I'd like to see Scream out on the end, so swap places here with Venom and Scream, but otherwise it's pretty good. For me, this is a C+. I think those ISOs are they're not great. They're just not great. The placement isn't quite so important as long as you don't have Scream and Venom next to each other, or Scream and Anti-Venom next to each other, then you're doing okay. But I would like to see Scream all the way to the outside. She's the squishy one. Yeah, so is what it is. You should move this one to offense also. It's a great attacking team, kills a lot of things. Team number 9 is the Fantastic Four with SheHulk. Wow, 7 red stars on your SheHulk. Nice. I got one of those too. Healer's okay. I like her now as a Skirmisher. That's my favorite. Put her in the middle. Put her as a Skirmisher. When those negative effects get splashed around on the team, or somebody else, these other guys are taking splash damage, it puts those positive charges on her head faster, and she'll counter, I don't know, that's assist. She'll attack other people. So that's why I like her as a Skirmisher. She clears all those negative effects too. It's really nice. I like Invisible Woman as a Skirmisher, with Mr. Fantastic as a Skirmisher, and then these 2 as Strikers. But you've already got such a huge investment. I think maybe you should change the Thing to a Skirmisher, because he's got the least, and save your resources. I mean, this team it's not fantastic, even though the name says fantastic, but you do need 2 Skirmishers with 2 Strikers. And She-Hulk doesn't count when you put her as a Skirmisher. But maybe, I don't know, maybe you should just try that. Maybe just change her to a Skirmisher and see if that's enough. The idea is they do a lot of assist on attack things, and so if you have 2 Skirmishers and 2 Strikers, the odds are you're going to get triple hits all over the place. And when you have this many Strikers and only 1 Skirmisher, there's just not enough vulnerables on the field for that to happen. So change to Skirmisher. For your build, change to Skirmisher. For anybody else, I think Invisible Woman should be the Skirmisher. And then change your placement to the middle. This is a B-. You're not doing too much wrong here. Black Order for team number 10. I like Black Order for offense also, but more and more I'm kind of thinking about moving mine to defense, actually, because I'm finding less and less teams that they really work against. Most of the time I'm just using my Black Order on mirror matches in War, which is no fun because we did mirror matches in Arena for a year. Let's see here. Skirmisher, Striker, Healer. No. He doesn't have any healing in his kit. He has Health Steal, which is not the same thing. You need to change him to a level 5 Skirmisher ASAP. 100% wrong on that one. As for all these others, they're fine. Looks great. On offense, I run my Proxima as a Striker and my Corvus as the Skirmisher, because then I can control whose positive effects I'm clearing. Works really well that way. But on defense, this is definitely the way you want it. And then, like Cull and Thanos are very forgiving on what kind of ISOs you want to use. These are great, though. I kind of like them. So I'm going to give you a B for this, because that is a major no-no, putting the healer ISO on him. You get his health bar isn't that big, and so you're just getting a rejuve. You're just getting that pissy ass little rejuve that doesn't do much. So you got to change him to a level 5 skirmisher. That'll make the ability block stick if you ever use him against Phoenix. And we are hearing in the data mines that magic is going to revitalize Phoenix, so you may want to do that in the future if Phoenix makes a comeback with the new magic character. Okay, this has been Defense Up for NotaRobot. Welcome to the Alliance, buddy. I hope I wasn't too hard on you, but I like to kind of be hard on the new guys, so don't worry about it. Anyway, if you like what you saw, like, subscribe, leave comments there. If I made mistakes, I like to know about it. Please be respectful in the comments. And also, if you want your team featured on Defense Up, hit me up on my Discord. Just message me or at me, whatever, and we can get you in the lineup. I think I'm only about a week and a half out right now. So I will catch you guys next time. Don't just have a good game, be good to yourselves and each other too. Bye.